Hi. Are you a caregiver in the silver time of life? Do you want to connect with other caregivers who are in similar situations as you are? Then this channel is for you. Hi, I'm Teresa, and I have an adult daughter who has a developmental disability. I started this channel because I want to connect with other people who are in a similar situation as I am. Those other people I call silver caregivers. Those of us who are in a particular time of life, moving towards our more senior phase or already solidly in that senior time. And we are currently caring for someone else. And that someone could be a child, a partner, a parent, a friend, a sibling. It can be anyone that you love who needs your care and support. So anyone who is caring for someone like that is welcome here, because the topics that we will talk about will be relevant to all of us. And caregiving, whether you do it full-time or part-time, can be a very isolating experience. It's also uncommon because most of our friends or siblings who are in the same age group as we are not in the position that we're in. It's a unique position. For example, most of my friends who are around my age are empty nesters or very close to be empty nesters. So they don't need to hire a caregiver in order to go out to dinner with their partner or to take a spontaneous trip somewhere. In my life, there's really very little spontaneity. I can't say to my husband, hey, let's just go away for this weekend. We have to make a lot of plans. We have to hire a caregiver for our daughter for absolutely anything we want to do on her own, as she needs care 100% of the time. So arranging for a caregiver is doable, and I'm incredibly grateful that we have a community to support us of friends and family, and we have been able to find really wonderful, trustworthy caregivers to help us support our daughter and give her the quality of life that we want for her. But we are finding ourselves living a very different kind of life than we had planned for, especially as we're getting into those older years when I think we envisioned more independence than what we have now. So why am I starting a YouTube channel? It's because I know there are many people in my position. I am not alone. There is lots for us to talk about. We can support each other, we can share information, and we can learn from each other. This kind of caregiving situation can be very lonely. It can be very scary, especially if you feel like you are the only one in your circle who is dealing with this kind of an issue. For me, my daughter is now 36 years of age, and she requires total care. So she needs assistance with all activities of daily living. And I continue to work at this point in my life. I am starting to move towards semi-retirement as a phase to move towards retirement. So I still have to make sure that I have caregiving for her when I'm working. But if there's any leisure activities that I want to engage in, I have to make sure that I have a caregiver for her. My professional background is as a pediatric speech-language pathologist. I've spent lots of years in academia teaching. I've done some research, and I've taught hundreds of students on how to be really what I hope to be really excellent speech pathologists to support people who have communication disorders and their family members. So I have had the privilege myself of working with hundreds of families and their children over my career. And I have learned so many lessons from them, incredibly valuable lessons that improved my professional as well as my personal life. I know that I became a better therapist when my daughter needed special services I was able to learn so much by sitting on the other side of the table. I am so privileged to work with families and talk with them, not just about their child's therapy needs, but about other aspects of their child. And that is why I feel incredibly drawn to supporting this community that I am a part of, because I've heard so many stories from families, from parents about loneliness and challenges that they face as their children get older. So a few years ago, I started a podcast called Safe Harbor, a podcast for parents of children with disabilities and the people who love them. And so far, I've recorded 22 episodes. For most of those episodes, I've interviewed a guest speaker, and we talk about all kinds of topics related to parenting children with disabilities. For example, things like dealing with grief, dealing with issues that come up around siblings, and how the siblings of your child who has a disability, how they find their place within the family and how they develop their relationship with their special sibling. What happens when children grow up? I've got a lovely interview with a mom of a young adult male who has autism, and we talk about their journey in terms of moving him toward a more independent lifestyle. And also I have a great episode on traveling with children who have a disability. So I encourage you to check out that podcast. It's an audio podcast. It's not on YouTube. I will link it in the show notes for today. The podcast has been on hiatus, and I'm now turning my attention towards this YouTube channel because I really feel drawn to talk about issues related to parenting children with disabilities as we become older. But I still may add additional episodes to the Safe Harbor podcast at some point. And I would encourage you to go take a listen and subscribe because even though I haven't recorded any episodes recently, I continue to get downloads every week. So I know there is an audience for those episodes. So now I have this different focus, and I'm over here on the Silver Caregiver channel on YouTube. And my vision is that this will be a place where we can share, where we can feel supported, where we can laugh. Yes, there is a lot to laugh about. You might find yourself in just a really crazy situation, like, up in the middle of the night and changing a diaper, or find yourself out in a social situation where things are just not going well, and sometimes the only thing that you have to do is laugh. But sharing your stories here is certainly that's going to be so welcome, and I know we have a lot in common. It's also a place where I'd like you to ask for help, to ask for topics that are on your mind that we can talk about. Topics for future videos would be so welcome. It's a place to share information and insights. If we start to talk about living arrangements as your children get older, then if you've figured something out, please share a story. We can all learn from each other. I am very interested in talking about strategies on how we can maintain our physical and emotional well-being as we move into our senior years, while we deal with the stress of what we are dealing with, and then how we get it done with grace. So there are so many issues I want to explore related to quality of life, mind and body health, finances. How do we manage the finances as of us with our adult children as we approach retirement and enter retirement, and then, what do we do with any assets as we prepare to leave this world and go on to the next phase? Quality of life. I believe very strongly in the need for creativity especially as we enter our more senior years and we are thinking about our purposes. So how do we nurture our creative spirit? And how does that nurturing help us enhance our life and help us manage the challenges that we face on a daily basis? I also enjoy very much exploring the spiritual nature of caregiving and the special qualities our loved ones bring to our lives. I know so many parents have said to me they could not envision their child any other way, and I would agree. There are so many special qualities that my child has that are related to her disability, that have helped. Her disability has helped form her, and I treasure every single aspect of her. Sometimes the beauty of the caregiving situations we find ourselves in shines so bright, right? If you are in a similar situation as I am, you know what I'm talking about. But some days the darkness is very thick, and that's where we really need the help of our community. So my message that I want to share with you is that you are not alone. So here on this YouTube channel, let's create a community of love and support and sharing, and let's connect. So please do this. Please like this video. Please hit that subscribe button to help me build this community of silver caregivers. And leave a comment with your feedback and share the topics that are of interest to you. Look for my next episode in 1 week. I will be publishing an episode weekly unless something happens. That's my plan. I want you to remember as we close, you are important. Please find time and space for you this coming week. And thank you for watching.